Hello, my friends. Today's topic is essential phrases in Japanese for presentations. This video is going to be for people who are not sure if they sound professional enough in business presentations. So let's get started.
Today, like I said, we're going to be talking about phrases for business presentations, and I'm going to talk about mainly three things. First, if you're in a business presentation, anyone who's planning on doing a presentation in Japanese for business, here are the three things that you need to know. Starting the presentation is number one. Number two is transitioning the topic. After you start a conversation, the presentation, you want to transition to topic A, B, or C, right? And then at the last part, I want to teach you how to politely wrap up the presentation. So we got starting, transitioning, and politely wrapping up. All right, this is going to be what we're going to talk about today. And the pain point, like I said at the beginning of the video, we're going to address this feeling right here. I'm not sure if I sound professional enough in a presentation. All right. So I think 99.9% of the people who do presentations in Japanese have this fear and feeling. So let's try to kind of improve that today. All right. Okay. So let's start with starting the presentation. At the very first part of your presentation, you can say something like, I'm going to teach you three of these. Okay, so each section, starting, transitioning, and wrapping up, has 3 to 4 sentences that you can use, depending on the situation. All right, so the first one, starting the presentation, you can start out by saying, まずはじめに. Okay, まずはじめに, first of all. And what I like doing before presentations, I do presentations every day at this point in my workplace. And what I like to do is I like to actually thank people for coming to that presentation. Thank people for actually allowing me to do the presentation. All right. So you can say like, まずはじめに、本日はお忙しい中、お集まりいただきありがとうございます。Okay. Thank you for gathering here today despite your busy schedule. So despite, even though you have a busy day, thank you today for coming to my presentation. If you want me to break it down, I will. 本日はお忙しい中, which means today while you are busy. So even though today you're busy, お集まりいただきありがとうございます. Thanks for gathering here. Right? That's what I like to say. And then after that, I start saying, I will now start our presentation. ただいまよりプレゼンテーションを始めます。or neatly 始めさせていただきます。All right. Anytime that you start something, this is a formal way of saying let's begin. So let the game begin is ただいまより. Okay, ただいまより. All right. So now let's look at transitioning. All right. So you're already in a few minutes in the presentation. You're talking about something that happened at work. You want to actually transition from the the first topic to the second topic. Now, what I like to do personally, and guys, by the way, the words that I introduce here, I'm telling you here is they're all the ones that I personally use. So these are all examples that I personally like and I use on a daily basis. All right. So the first thing you can say is you're transitioning. You say 次にsomething something についてご説明いたします。説明 means to explain, and 次に the first part is next. All right, so next I will explain about something. Something something についてご説明いたします。This part literally in the super literal translation would be next about something I will explain to you. All right, I'll explain to you right here. ご説明いたします. All right. And also what I like to do is you're transitioning the topic to a different topic. So before transitioning, you want to actually review what you talked about in the previous section. So that's when you say, let me summarize the key points so far so that other people don't get confused. So how we say that is this. ここで一度 once, here once, ポイントを整理いたします。ポイントを整理いたします。Literally, here once, let me summarize the key points so far. All right. And then you can say something like, let's look at the next slide. After you actually gave them time to summarize it in their brain, now it's time to look at the next slide. So you say, それでは次のスライドをご覧ください. Slide is slide, スライド, right? ご覧ください. If you remember the keigo here, ご覧ください in casual Japanese is 見てください. Please have a look, take a look at it, right? 見てください in keigo is ご覧ください. So if you didn't remember that, if you didn't know that, please write it down. All right, that's what we do. All right, so we got transitioning now, and then we've talked about a lot of things in your presentation already. Yeah, so you're talking about what the problem is, or what what kind of whatever topic you're talking about, and you talked about a second topic, or a third topic, or a fourth topic, and now you want to actually wrap up. How do we do this, right? So you're talking about a lot of things, and then what I like to do is say 以上で. 以上で is kind of a word when it comes to it's a word for when you want to conclude something. So 以上で私のプレゼンテーションを終わります。以上で終わります. All right? That's what I like to do. And the reason why I added this wrapping up part is because a lot of people just suddenly wrap up the presentation without thanking people, without saying this is the end of the presentation. They just stop talking. They say something like ありがとうございました or また来てください. Just saying thank you, or I mean, it's weird in English as well. You don't just finish the presentation by saying just thank you, right? You want to say this is the conclusion. Thanks for coming. Thanks for attending our presentation. That's why we say 以上で, and you can also add something like this is a very special word. If you want to say thank you for your attention, thank you for listening. ご清聴ありがとうございました. ご清聴, 清聴 means to listen. Okay. 清聴ありがとうございました. And I see a lot of people doing this at my workplace, so I kind of wanted to introduce this as well. I personally do this too. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. ご質問がありましたらどうぞ. どうぞ. どうぞ is the word we use for like when you throw them the ball and let them talk, right? So it's you already finished your presentation. Now it's the audience's turn to actually ask you questions, right? So どうぞ is a very good way to ask. Instead of like 質問ありますか? Those is a very formal way to ask, and a lot of people would appreciate that, the fact that you know this word. All right. Yeah, so those were the main let's see what else I got. Yeah, those were the main things I wanted to talk about. First, I talked about starting the conversation, starting the presentation, opening it. Excuse me. まずはじめに, right? You always want to thank the audience for coming. And when you transition, you always want to actually summarize the key points, this is a very important one. Actually, I think I'll highlight this red, right? In Japanese presentations, you don't want to just move on. You want to summarize the key points. So, ここで一度ポイントを整理します. All right. And the last part, we talked about wrapping up. ご清聴 is another important one. ご清聴ありがとうございました. Guys, if you use the word ご清聴, man, the audience is going to love you because, again, we all love people who actually learn, respect the language and learn the language, because that shows that you made the effort to actually, you took the time to study it. So a lot of people will love you if you use these words, all right? ご清聴ありがとうございました. All right, guys. I hope a lot of you who are learning business Japanese learn at least something out of this video. My goal is to keep posting videos every day like this so that people around the world who learn business Japanese are able to improve on a daily basis. So if you have any questions or recommendations, anything you want to learn out of me, please comment below, send me an email, send me a WhatsApp message. I'll make any kind of video depending on your needs. All right. So I hope that people around the world are improving, and God bless you all. I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Bye-bye.